If you've been following this channel, you know we have been deep in the Caleb Flynn case, the former American Idol contestant charged with taking his wife's life, Ashley Flynn, in Tip City, Ohio, and staging it to look like a home invasion. In our last video, we broke down the rumors surrounding a named individual being identified online as Caleb's alleged affair partner, a 23-year-old worship leader at the same church where Caleb served as music pastor. Since that video, this story has taken a turn that I did not see coming. A 911 call has been released, and it's not from Caleb. It's not from investigators. It's from the mother of the woman being named online as the alleged mistress. And what she says on that call, and what her own father wrote publicly, adds a completely new dimension to everything we thought we knew. Before we go any further, I need to be responsible for how we handle this. The woman being named online has not been charged with any crime. Authorities have not officially named her in connection with this case. The affair itself has not been confirmed by law enforcement or the court. And as we're going to discuss today, a significant amount of what has been circulating online about this case is fabricated, completely made up. We are covering the verified developments, including this 911 call, which is a real, official public record. Everything else, we are going to fact-check in real time. Here's something that I think is critically important before we get to that 911 call. And honestly, it's something that every true crime viewer needs to hear right now. This case has been absolutely flooded with fake news. And I mean deliberately fabricated, made up from scratch fake stories designed to go viral. Sites like News 75 Today and Today C News, which are not legitimate news outlets, have been publishing completely fictional details about this case. And people are sharing them as if they're real. Here are some of the things being falsely reported. That Caleb Flynn texted his alleged mistress at 12:42 a.m., saying, "It's almost done," before the murder. Fake. Caleb's text messages have not been publicly released. The hotel receipts were filed as court evidence on the exact date Ashley discussed the divorce. Fake. That never happened. Those sealed forensic reports contain specific language about secret transactions. Fake. Made up entirely. And then there are fake Facebook pages with names like Trending US Prime, publishing posts that make it sound like breaking court news when it's pure fiction. Investigative reporters and court document researchers have gone directly to Tip City and Miami County court authorities and confirmed that none of those details exist in the official case documents. Why does this matter for today's video? Because this flood of fake information, particularly the fake story about Caleb texting a woman before unaliving his wife, is what caused the internet to turn on this 23-year-old woman so viciously. People read fake stories, believed she was in on the murder, and the harassment began. Which brings us to that 911 call. On February 20th, 2026, just 3 days after Ashley Flynn was unalived and 1 day after Caleb was arrested, a woman called Miami County 911. She speaks quietly, almost in a whisper. But if you listen closely, you can hear it, the fear and anxiety in her voice. This woman is the mother of the person being named online as Caleb Flynn's alleged mistress. And she's calling because someone is banging on her front door. Repeatedly. Won't stop. I'm going to play the call for you now. Listen carefully.
Yeah, my daughter, because this whole Flynn case, please. My daughter is the worship leader at the church, and that's too much. So there's a bunch of gossip on the internet of accusing my daughter of being involved with the husband and stuff, lies, and
Miami County 911.
Yeah, somebody's at my door and they're not leaving. There's a lot going on right now, and they're just banging and banging on my door.
What's the address?
The doorbell. It's
You know who it is?
No, it could be news reporters or something. I don't know, but they're banging on the door. And the Flynn case, my daughter is one of the worship leaders at our church, and so there's a whole bunch of accusations going on the internet about her, and she's been staying with me just out of safety and just fear of being home and stuff. And whoever it is, they just won't leave my door, and they're just banging and ringing the doorbell. I see a man and a woman. They're not in uniform. They're in jeans.
Okay, are they white, black,
yeah,
Hispanic?
White man,
male,
white woman. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they just can't stop.
How long have they been there?
For 5 minutes. This has been going on. No one stays that long and just keeps ringing and knocking. Please, guys, go to the bedroom.
And you don't recognize who they are?
I'm sorry?
You don't recognize
them? No,
them?
I don't recognize them at all. I would check my Ring doorbell.
Okay. What is your name?
And the recorders have been like at our church and stuff like that too. So it could be. No. Come on.
What's your phone number, ma'am? Did you see what kind of vehicle they came in?
No, I looked at my other camera that had another angle, and I don't even see a car out there.
Okay.
But everyone's just been so like nervous and on edge.
Okay. And you said there's someone that goes to that church staying with you, and that's why you think they're there?
Yeah, my daughter. Because this whole like Flynn case, please. My daughter is the worship leader at the church, and that's too much. So there's like a bunch of gossip on the internet of like accusing my daughter of like being involved with the husband and stuff, lies. And
so you think they're there to interview her?
Yeah, probably, maybe, I'm not sure, but she's so afraid, and that's why she's staying at my house right now, just because of all this gossip online.
Right.
And these people are still at the door, just standing there.
Okay. Hold on for me just 1 second. I'm going to mute you for just 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Okay, one of the officers just said that he's out there. Do you see him?
No, okay. Take that back in there. All right.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's going to be the police department.
So is it the police department that's
next
door? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Now, if that 911 call wasn't enough to make you pause and think about how this young woman is being treated online, then listen to what her grandfather wrote. When a fake Facebook post was circulating claiming that Caleb Flynn's so-called girlfriend had died, yes, people actually published that. The grandfather responded publicly in the comments. He wrote, "I am her grandfather. She could never do anything like this unless she was manipulated. She was promised heaven by someone who could do something so horrible. I'm blown away on how someone could do this to a young girl who believed in something that overpowered her morals and values. She was sadly led astray." Read that again. She was promised heaven by someone who could do something so horrible. Led astray. This grandfather is not defending a criminal. He's describing a young woman, 23 years old, who he believes was manipulated, deceived, by a man who, if the charges against him are true, was capable of unaliving the mother of his own children. Think about that from this young woman's perspective for a moment. If the affair is real, and again, it has not been officially confirmed, she may have had no idea what Caleb was truly capable of. She may have believed she was in a genuine relationship with someone who was going to leave his marriage. She may have been lied to just as thoroughly as Ashley was. That does not make an affair okay. It does not excuse anything. But it does complicate the internet's rush to make her a villain. And it raises a question that nobody is really asking yet. Is she a witness? Is she a victim? Or both? I want to step back for a second because I think this case is showing us something really important about how social media handles true crime. And it's not flattering. One Facebook commenter, responding to a post that published this woman's photo and name, wrote, "Posting the mistress's name is a good way to get her unalived. I would not do that." And that person is right. We have a 23-year-old woman who has not been charged with anything, who has not been officially named by the police, whose own mother is calling 911 in fear, whose grandfather is publicly pleading for people to understand that she was manipulated. And yet her name and photo are being shared thousands of times online, with people making accusations, death threats implied, and fake stories suggesting she helped plan a murder. This is what happens when fake news sites manufacture details and outraged people share them without checking sources. A real human being, whatever her involvement or lack thereof, becomes a target. Ashley Flynn deserves justice. Absolutely. But justice doesn't come from internet mobs harassing a 23-year-old into hiding at her mother's house. Justice comes from investigators, prosecutors, and courts doing their jobs, with real evidence. Here's where things officially stand as of right now. Caleb Flynn has pleaded not guilty to 1 count of matter, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence. His bond remains at $2 million. A preliminary hearing has been scheduled. Media will not be allowed inside, but it is expected to be videotaped. According to Dayton 24/7, and at least 5 body camera videos from responding officers are coming. Police are currently in the process of redacting them before release. Those body cam videos could be significant. They could show the state of the crime scene, Caleb's demeanor when officers arrived, and what he said in those first crucial moments. We will be covering them the moment they drop, and the autopsy results, those are not being released anytime soon, according to sources close to the case. This is a case that is still very much unfolding, and the most important evidence hasn't been made public yet. Here's what I keep coming back to. That grandfather said his granddaughter was promised heaven by someone capable of doing something horrible. If Caleb Flynn made promises to this young woman, promises about a future together, then she may know things. So things investigators need. Things that could either confirm or completely dismantle the affair motive that everyone is assuming drove this crime. Will she cooperate with investigators? Will she be called as a witness? Could she become the most important person in this entire case? Not as a suspect, but as someone who knows exactly what Caleb Flynn was saying and planning in the days before Ashley died? That answer is coming. And when it does, everything could change. If this video helped you separate fact from fiction in the Caleb Flynn case, please hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are following this story. Subscribe and turn on your notifications. Because with body cam footage dropping, a preliminary hearing coming, and more case documents being released, we are going to have a lot to cover in the coming days. And drop your thoughts in the comments. After hearing that 911 call and the grandfather's statement, do you see the alleged mistress differently? Do you think she knew what Caleb was planning? Or do you think she was just as deceived as Ashley? I want to hear your perspective. And as always, we keep talking about these cases because Ashley Flynn and her daughters deserve for the truth to come out. Not the fake news version, the real one. See you in the next update.